love all my kids equally, but not really. Pick one vice to have. Like, just pick one bad trait about yourself. You don't have to go and like check select all at the same time. Always have money for gambling, vapes, and girlfriends, but not $13 for a gift for our mom. I have been in a mega movie watching mode lately. I don't know if it's the summertime or it's just that so many good movies are actually coming out. It's just so nice watching a movie, maybe grabbing a snack, some grapes, cold grapes, of course, popcorn, munching, you dim the lights, you close the shades, you watch. It's like you're at home in-home theater experience. It's so awesome. So I recently watched a movie. It is K-pop Demon Hunters. The soundtrack is just art. It's like if there was a feast, but for my ears. So good. I highly recommend you guys watch it. Now, speaking of movies, I wonder what it would be rated as. It used to be back in the olden days, I guess, where you watch a film and then there's a screen that blinks up and it shows you rated PG, rated R, rated like E for everyone or something, right? And I bring that up because I always thought, okay, that's when that's the feel of, okay, we're sitting in, ready, the movie's starting. And that's usually, I think, for some sort of guidance, right? It's one of the ratings where it says parental supervision needed or parental guidance suggested. But today's episode theme is parental supervision needed, but not in the way that you expect, not the watch out, your kids might see something or hear something they're not supposed to, but in a, if the parents are watching the kids, who is checking the parents and the adults in our lives? So hop in. I hope you're relaxed. I hope you have a drink in hand because we're diving into a bunch of crazy Reddit stories. So our first one is from the subreddit AITA. Am I the a-hole for pulling away from my parents because they always decide to break bad news on important days for me? This was a long-running thing with my parents and something my siblings, 19 and 17, commented on. I, 21-year-old male, am the oldest of 3. And starting at a young age, my parents have made weird decisions about breaking bad news. It started when I was 7. I was the lead in our school play, and 20 minutes before the play starts, my parents decide to announce my great-grandma was dying. They had known about it for days at that point and waited to tell us and said they needed a good moment. Then they acted super shocked when I bawled in front of everyone. I messed up the whole play and couldn't get a single line right. Then, when I was 9, it was the day of my assessment for learning disabilities. My parents announced on the way home that Dad had lost his job 3 weeks prior, so they could have waited another day or two to tell us, and we'd have to make a lot of changes in our lives. At the time, I wondered if they saw my learning disabilities as a burden on top of everything and resented me for it. The morning of my 10th birthday party, not my actual birthday, but a few days after, they told us they had to put our dog down 2 days before and had not sent him to our grandparents' house for a few days to not have him running around during the party. They announced they were getting a divorce on my 15th birthday. My mom waited until my graduation to announce she was diagnosed with cancer. She'd known for 2 months. Just waited, and again, on a day important for me. When I moved out for college, I dropped the rope. I didn't call or text. I didn't even check in on my mom. I spoke to my siblings every day, sometimes twice a day, but I didn't invest in my relationship with my parents. I didn't go to either house for Christmas or summer break. I figured out other stuff. They called a few times and I answered, but I would always make it short and to the point. My siblings said my parents thought that I was just being a typical first-time college kid, but it started to get more obvious by the first Christmas after I moved out. They avoided bringing it up until the summer when they saw an incident that I moved into an apartment with 3 of my plants and we decided to put down roots here. They brought up the elephant in the room and I was honest. They asked me why I never talked to them about it. And I said it wasn't something I should have to bring up because they weren't announcing things as they happened. They'd wait, and that shit felt intentional. I said they didn't forget when my birthday was or that I was 10 minutes away from performing in the school play, and the lack of sensitivity made them less approachable. Both of them think I was petty to pull away for this. My siblings think they're just heavily in denial. Am I the a-hole? I feel like we're starting off with a not so typical story. You guys really thought we were going to jumping in with some sort of breakup, relationship type of story, huh? Well,
technically it is breakup in a relationship.
okay, fine. But it's a different type of breakup. Oh, that was M, or dubbed by you guys as Mr. Deep Voice. Also, my hubby. I'm conflicted about this because I feel like OP's asking if he's the a-hole, but it's more like because he needs another voice to be on his side. Almost like a friend rather than am I in the wrong? if that makes sense. Man, okay, I was ready to say after the first 2 times, I mean, okay, OP, you're 21. And when the story started with OP saying, okay, well, it started when I was 7, okay? And they told me 20 minutes before my part in this play that my grandma passed. I'm like, could they have chosen a better time? Mayhaps. But you were 7, so it's been a few years, right? But then as OP is going on, he has a list of receipts. This is the book of grievances, guys. This is not very casual, like, oh, it's like that one time that this happened. I'm like, no. Because it happened so many times, I'm inclined to be totally on OP's side. That he didn't blow up about it. He just simply distanced himself, which I think was the more, I guess, depending on which side of the table you're sitting at, in some ways could be considered the more mature way to go about it. It's not like he had a blow up or a tantrum. He just felt like, oh my gosh, you're doing this again and again and again. And you know what? I don't want that in my life. I'm going to distance myself physically, literally, emotionally detach, anchor dropped. So I am kind of on OP's side in this, but also my condolences, OP, because your life is writing like a tragedy. Like there should be a tragedy tag on this because what do you mean? Okay, we got someone passing. Um, your dad lost his job, your 10th birthday, your dog passes, your parents getting a divorce. I'm like, it's just like back to back to back. Like, oh my gosh, are you okay? I can see why you distance yourself. I'm also a little bit baffled why the parents didn't just, you know, if you're going to wait 2 months to let your kid know that you have cancer, this is going to sound horrible. What's another week? What's another day of waiting to let him know? Right? That sounds so horrible out of context, but I actually stand with OP here. I don't think you're going too overboard.
I guess they can feel however they want to feel about the situation,
Yeah.
about the parents' relationship. And I don't know if you can say they would be an a-hole, whatever the reason may be, why they don't want to be in a relationship with,
With their own parents.
yeah, with their own parents. So to me, it's straightforward. I'm just a bit confused about the specific reasoning. There are a
Oh,
few instances where, I don't know, that seem like an okay time to say it because, throughout life, there's going to be times when things happen.
yeah.
So, like, waiting after some event to say that, I think that's appropriate. For example, after the exam, some kind of disability exam that the OP was taking.
Let me see. No, it was before.
Oh, I thought OP said that it was
I
after.
think, right? Let me see. Let me see. Let me time check this. No, it was the day of the assessment for learning
Yeah,
disabilities.
day of
Oh,
or
so on the way
after?
home. On the way
Okay,
home.
so it's on the way back
Yeah.
already. So it's after the fact.
Yeah. I feel like that was a bad coincidence type of deal.
Yeah, well, I mean, OP probably knows their relationship better and why the parents are doing that. But
Yeah.
when you just put this one reason, and I guess, yeah, there are multiple instances. I don't know. That to me is just kind of strange reason to not like your parents just because of that. But I think there's probably more to it, or there have been different reasons for it as well.
Well, I think it's insensitive. I think that's what it boils down to. It seems like they never prioritized OP because if they did, they would at least have the consideration, I think, to wait a little bit longer to share whatever bad news. Because, I mean, okay, so the day of the assessment for learning disabilities, I think that can be a little iffy because it was on the way back. So it's already done, it's already completed. So it just happened. It is what it is, right? And I don't think the parents are perfect in which, okay, I got to find the perfect time to let my son know that I have been laid off. Okay, so I can let that one slide. But you're telling me announcing that they were getting a divorce on his 15th birthday? I don't know. I don't have kids, but even I know teenagers are touchy. And 15 seems like an extremely hormonal, emotional age. Not that all teenagers are. I'm just saying from my own personal experience. I feel like I don't know. Did they go like, happy birthday, son? Here's your birthday present. By the way, your mom and I, we're getting divorced. Like, I feel like that can maybe have waited at least a day or something. Or waiting until graduation to announce that like the mom had cancer. I just feel like it's very odd to
Yeah.
pick these times. Like, if you're going to wait like 2 months after already, because at that point, the mom already knew for 2 months, what's one more day? Am I weird? Like, I'm getting the sense that the parents are just insensitive. Or are you that oblivious? Are you just that oblivious to your child's, like, special days?
Yeah, I would kind of have to agree with you that I think they are insensitive.
That's so sad.
It is sad, but I guess it's also up to OP to decide whether you know, OP wants to have the relationship with the parents or not. I think that's I don't think you can say the OP is an a hole for that.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is what do you think about the fact that OP never brought it up? Like, they never actually had a conversation. OP just gradually, like, distanced himself and then just went on his merry life, basically.
Yeah, I mean it's up to the OP to I think to kind of decide whether they want to pursue that or have a talk about that. But I don't know. It's just I'm definitely not agreeing with the how the parents brought up the news or whatever. I'm pretty sure that's not the only reason why
Oh,
OP.
you think there's other, like,
Probably,
things
yeah.
leading
I,
up
w- I
to it?
would I would have to say so. I think it's just maybe general their general relationship is maybe very distant or impersonal. That's what how it seems like it, but I don't know.
I mean, I'm with you in that, of course, it's OP's choice. I'm surprised by how harsh it was. I do think OP was a little harsh, but given what OP was dealing with, I guess not. I'm just surprised that OP is so, like, cold turkey about it. Because usually you see a lot of people kind of struggle internally and then they might bring it up. Then they might get disappointed by what their parents say or the other person says. And they'll wrestle with internally until they finally kind of decide, like, oh, have this big blow up. So I'm just surprised that OP's gently pulling away, I guess. So his parents seem to think that he's petty for pulling, quote unquote, away for this. And the siblings think, no, the parents are in denial. I would agree. I think there's more. I think it's a sign of neglect. I think the parents were probably like overlooking the kids in some emotional way. That's what it feels like. But easy? I would say pretty easy. Not the a hole. I'd be curious to see what other people say though, because usually parent and child relationships, some people feel like it's one of those bonds where it's like, what is it? There's a famous phrase, blood is thicker than water or something like that, where it's, oh, it's your parents. Like, you can't do that. They're your parents. Like, the parents are the ultimate, like, I don't know, like safety card, get out of jail free card. Like, oh no, like you excuse a lot of things because they're your parents, I guess. So let's see what the comments say. First comment from Lily Lake. Not at all. Not the hole at all. Have they ever pulled that sort of crap on your siblings? Sounds like they picked you for some reason, sort of like cases wherein only one child in the family is physically abused. Your parents are poison. If I were you, I'd stay no contact with them. Better for your mental health. Interesting. So I have heard that because I do like watching my, crime shows here and there. But I've heard of cases where only one child in the family gets picked on in particular. And it's almost like reverse golden child syndrome, I guess, where in particular one gets treated really badly compared to other siblings. Interesting. I wonder why. Another comment, not the but, and this is a petty speculation, not advice. I wonder how they react if you fibbed that you had an upcoming celebration. Would they try to ruin it, then get confused when you don't react? Like they must get some kind of sick kick out of what they're doing. Interesting. I am tempted. I would say if you were a petty OP, I would put it to the test. And also, if you were curious, I would put it to the test because say if OP announced, Mom, Dad, I'm going to announce an engagement. You can't tell me it would be a coincidence if the parents all of a sudden pulled out a card and said, by the way, we're in debt and we need your help and we can't afford our house anymore and we're going to be homeless soon. Like if they drop some sort of dramatic bad news, coincidentally on your big update, I would think that it's some sort of intentional pattern. So far, I've been thinking that either the parents are insensitive and they're just neglectful and they just don't realize, but maybe I'm being too lenient on the parents. Maybe they're just totally evil and they're just doing this on purpose to rain on your parade. I don't know. This comment's making me thinking maybe it's the opposite.
I wouldn't rule that out.
Really?
I mean, yeah.
See, this is the part where you're supposed to go and be like, no, 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 no. Too far with the conspiracy. Man, I don't know. I'm kind of nervous for you, OP. Another comment said, yes. Then I'd make shit up on every holiday, birthday, and anniversary about whatever would bum them out the most. This could be fun. Oh no. Okay, maybe I want to do the same thing because you'll tire yourself out, OP. But my advice, I think keep doing what you're doing. And at least it seems like your siblings are on your side. And I wish you the best, OP, because it sucks to have your special moment have it rained on. I can think back to experience I've had where I was so excited for something, for an event, and then someone close to me just announces something horrible or kind of rains on my parade literally. And it's like, oh, well, okay. Now it's like if you react, like if you continue on your celebration, you're an a hole for not reacting to the horrible thing someone just dropped on you. But at the same time, it's unfair to you if you don't get to celebrate your day and your moment. So I feel that, OP. Best of luck to you. And you know what? Stay the course, hang out with your siblings and your friends that support you. You seem to be doing well enough with your parents. So I'd say carry on, carry on. Now, if you guys have advice for OP or your own personal stories, let me know in the comments. And if you're enjoying this episode so far, don't forget to like and hit subscribe in the video. Although, shout out to our Spotify listeners. Don't forget to rate this podcast 5 stars, guys. Now, our next story is from the subreddit, Am I the A-hole? Am I the a-hole for defending myself over what happened on my 15th birthday in 2001 after my mother brought up how upset I was that she only got me clothes back then? First off, congratulations, OP. You've officially won the award for most petty story I've ever heard, or longest grudge held, actually. I don't know if you're petty yet, but longest grudge held. I mean, I've seen some stories. We've seen some stories like some grudges are like a decade long, like 10 years, I think is the longest one that we heard from a story. But 2001? Hun, it is 2025. You were holding this grudge for 24 years. But let's see, let's see. Opie says, sometimes my mother likes to bring up little things, hoping my stance on them has changed. For some reason, she brought up how upset I was on my 15th birthday for not getting an N64 game. I have no idea what type of game this is. I'm assuming it's a sports game. For some reason, I imagine every game before the Nintendo Switch must be like one of those ancient computers that you see that look like a cinder block. If I find a picture of it, I'll show you guys. I'll pop up a photo of the N64. I was on my 15th birthday for not getting an N64 game, and then admitted that she went out and bought a game after seeing how disappointed I was, which was news to me because later that day when my mother and sister presented me with an N64 game and basically said, quote, here, we didn't give it to you earlier because we just wanted it to be a joke, then told me I was being a big baby about it, which admittedly I was, but I actually talked a lot for months leading up to my birthday how I wanted an N64 game and didn't even ask for a new one. There was a Game Crazy 2 miles away with a bunch of them used for very fair prices. I was very grateful for the game and was playing it immediately. My mother suddenly admitted earlier that she only got me clothes on that birthday because I'd had a sudden growth spurt and was not only needing new clothes, but I was looking more like an adult. She pointed out where she got the clothes and how good they were. I rebutted that the clothes were good, but I'd literally only asked for one thing back then, which was an N64 game called Extreme G, specifically the first one, which was far from new at the time. She claimed she ran out and bought the game brand new for $50, but I pointed out I knew exactly where she bought the game, exactly what game it was, and how it had come out several years prior, and she bought it for about $20 at most. She tried to refute it, but I knew the details of the where, when, and how from back then so well that she diverted to trying to say that teenagers love new clothes and my sister was jealous. I told her that when I was in high school, I didn't know a single person in my age group that was happy only for clothes on their birthdays. I told her I was in no way ungrateful for the clothes back then, but it felt like the one little thing I wanted that day was completely disregarded. Then I pointed out how much stuff my nephews get for their birthdays from all of us. My mother tried to claim it was a different time, but my 15th birthday was in 2001. Game Boys were in every corner back then, and the next gen of home game consoles was coming, if not there already. I told my mother I wasn't asking for her to apologize or anything. I was just saying that's how I felt at the time, and she never really saw the situation from my side. I even agreed I was a brat about it, but in the end, all we could do was agree to disagree. I don't want to say I was hung up on it, but I also wasn't the one who brought it up. Now I'm feeling guilty for arguing about something from nearly 25 years ago. Am I the a-hole for doing that? OP, I owe you an apology. I called you petty before I heard you out. But you know what? I'm on your side. You have a friend in me. You have an advocate in me. What do you mean? Okay, I'd be pissed too. Can we talk about this? If there was ever a poll, like, one of those game shows, I forgot what it's called. Like, what is it? Family Dollar, Family Show, The Dollar Show. I don't know, but it's where there's a game show and two families come up to compete against each other. And the topic question could be like, name the top five like baby girl names for this year. And then like two families duke it out and try to guess like which one's the most popular name. And the bell rings. It's like ding, ding, ding. They reveal the answers, right? And it's like top five names were Cindy, Anna, Bella, something like that, right? I feel like if the question in one of these talk shows was name the most popular gifts that parents give to their teenage kids. Number one, answer. I don't have to be on a game show to let you know. It's clothes. Now, I'm not saying that you have a right to be a complete brat to your parents if your parents give you clothes as a teenager. But I've been there and done that. I feel like most teenagers indeed do not want clothes for a birthday present. I don't know if it's changed now, but I remember one year, like for my birthday, I wanted like Milo Pony, like toy set. Okay. I wanted the cute little Milo Pony, like toy sets, whatever. And then come my birthday, and I told my mom, and I made sure to, and kids, I don't think kids are subtle. Teenagers are never subtle about what they want. They just go, I really like that. Can I have that for my birthday? I really want that. Right. Then came my birthday. My parents, lovely as they are, went, happy birthday, and then got me a sweater. And I was just like, on my left shoulder with my little angel. I'm like, you know what? Be grateful. This is a gift. It's the intention. You're not materialistic. It's not about the item itself. It's the gift. It's the thought. And then on the other side, the little devil on my shoulder is going, F that. I wanted the Milo Pony toy set. Why did they give me clothes? Did they not hear the first 50 times I talked about it? So I'm kind of feeling for OP here. With that being said, here is my argument for why OP, you are not the a-hole. If I was your lawyer in the Honey Hearts court right now, I would say you aren't the a-hole because it's beyond the gift. It's about the principle. Like, it's the fact that you made it very well known that you wanted this one thing. And according to you, from your perspective, it was affordable, not something like a huge luxury item that was so out of your parents' budget or unreasonable, right? But then your parents still went ahead and got you something that you clearly didn't want. And I think parents will fall into this trap a lot, right? Sometimes I think the best gift givers are not the ones who give you the most luxury item or the best, like most bougie thing. It's giving the person exactly what they want. This is an issue of thoughtlessness. I think it's kind of the same thing as the first story in which I think mom is a little bit guilty of ignoring your wishes and getting what she thinks you need instead. You know? And I think what hurts about this is she hasn't changed. I think that's why you're upset, OP. Because you're telling me this is 25 years later, almost 25 years later. And the mom is still trying to justify her purchase. Like she's saying, oh, but I got you really nice clothes. This is why I bought it for you. You were growing. They're like from this and this brand. Like, I mean, yeah, those are all true things, but it wasn't what OP wanted. So, and the fact that 25 years later, your mom can't come to a consensus of, you're right. Like I was well intentioned, but I wish I would have gotten you something that you actually liked. Because why bring it up now? Like clearly you were upset about it and then she tried to fix it by getting this gift, but then now she's oddly bringing it up again, but then saying, that game was really expensive. I spent $50 whole on that. It almost is like through the retelling, it paints you as the brat, the completely spoiled, ungrateful brat. And I just don't think that's the full story. So that is why, Your Honor, you're not the a-hole. What do you think?
I would agree, I would say. So,
Really?
yeah, I would normally say, maybe it's a money issue that the parents could not afford
Yeah.
the gifts or whatever the game, but I don't think that was the case in this instance. And I think the mom was using it as some sort of example to say that I don't know. How did it come up, I guess?
So the mom randomly brought it up and said that, oh yeah, remember like I got you clothes on that birthday, but you were upset. And so remember like later that day, she made it into a joke. Like she tried to play it off as ran to the store, got him the game, but then tried to play it off like, oh, that was a joke earlier. The clothes, like, it's just a joke. I
Yeah, yeah.
also got you the game.
I get that, but yeah, it's just strange that the mom brought it up. Brought
right?
up the old story, I guess.
Like, why did she admit the truth 25 years later? Was this her guilty conscience? Like, I don't know why you would bring this up in the first place. I don't know. It just felt like one of those things where it's like sometimes maybe you just don't want to rehash childhood memories that happened like 25 years ago. My guess is she was guilty. Like it's bugged her for a while. Or maybe she's not guilty. She felt like, I don't know, pissed off that she had to buy her kid, or she felt like she had to buy her kid a $20, $50, whatever game. Maybe. But why bring it up now that OP is like old or older? Man, that's some I'm sorry, OP. I called you petty in the beginning, but that is some petty behavior. I don't think I would even remember, even if it was our kid and something like this happened. I don't think I would remember to bring it up 20 some years later and say, huh, remember the time I lied to you about your birthday gift and completely like ignored your wishes and then panic bought you what you wanted? Like, haha, so funny. Remember that? I don't know. I'm feeling kind of petty parent here. Now let's see what the comments say. First comment, not that I have been disappointed as well at 15. Kids want new stuff to do, not wear. Oh, that's true. I feel like as kids, like you kind of want things that you can play with, do something, do an activity with, or something, right? For clothes, not that it's not nice to have new clothes, but I don't know. As a gift, I remember as a kid, I was just kind of like, eh, eh, because I didn't really care about clothes at that point. Like I just feel like, okay, it's something you have to wear when you go outside. Not that I'm streaking at home naked, guys, but yes, like something you have to put on to wear, period. It's like a necessity item. It's not a fun item, if that makes sense.
Well, for me, it just comes down to knowing the person who you're buying a gift for and
Yeah.
buying a gift that they would want.
Yeah.
I mean, you can find those gifts in different price ranges, whatever you can afford, but it doesn't have to be expensive either. And it's just knowing who you're buying a gift for, or at least doing your best. I don't
Yeah.
know. It seemed close. I don't know, call it like a lazy gift, but it seems like it might be a lazy gift.
Ooh. Actually, I think you hit on a nail. I think it is a lazy gift. Not that like I'm not bashing people who give clothes as gifts, right? But I think it seems to be the go-to for a lot of parents for their kids. It seems to be, maybe I'm wrong. You guys let me know if I'm wrong. But I just feel like it's one of those, oh, what does he need? He can always use shirts and pants.
Right.
Like, let me get him shirts and pants and socks. You know what I mean?
Right.
But you know what's funny? I think as in adulthood, that becomes the reverse. I love getting clothes as gift now as an adult rather than when I was a kid. Because as a kid, it was kind of like, okay, I have enough clothes. Like, what am I gonna do with more clothes? But as an adult, like, for example, I will tell you guys, one year we asked, like when M's parents asked us, oh, what do you guys want for Christmas? He and I both honestly said socks. No, legit, because we just like socks are one of those things where I feel like you wear and then you wear until like they have holes in them or something, or you just until they get worn out, and then you just don't think really to buy it until you need it. And at that point, we were like, huh, socks. Like it's a low pressure gift. Like no one's pressured to be like, let me pick the best socks ever because socks are
Yeah,
socks.
it's hard to mess that up too, I would say.
Yeah, like socks are great. But only when they ask for it. Please don't go out and start giving everyone you know socks. But yeah, ended up being great. So I guess now in my adult years, I'm more appreciative of necessity items such as clothes. Another comment. In response to my mother suddenly admitted earlier that she only got me clothes on that birthday because I had a sudden growth spurt and was not only needing clothes, but I was looking more like an adult. This is not a birthday thing. Essentials are not gifts. That is so true. That is so, you know what it's like? It's like imagine you're rooming, you live with a roommate, right? And you notice that your roommate ran out of deodorant, and then his birthday comes up, and you go, "Happy birthday, bro! I got you deodorant because I saw that you ran out." And this is like, huh? Like I don't know. Would you like that gift?
Well, if I needed it.
No, honey, no. Never mind. Him's a bad judge. Him's a bad judge with this. But I was just kind of be like, thank you, thank you. Also, I think there's a hidden danger with giving people necessities or essential type of items. Because what happens when you get them the wrong type of essential items? What if you got them like woodsy scented deodorant and they just want neutral, no scent deodorant or something like that? Now they're obligated to use your essential item or else it goes to waste. It's kind of like when you're gifted an ugly sweater And you're like, "Ah, man, I don't want to wear this." But then you also don't want to toss it because it's a gift. And you also can't regift it because that's rude. So now you're stuck with this early, ugly sweater that you just don't know what to do with. It's like that. Like, as the great Sheldon Cooper from the Big Bang Theory said, sometimes a gift is not a gift. Sometimes you're gifting an obligation to someone. In this case, to use it. Yeah. So, okay, the store was marked not sale, and I firmly agree. Firmly agree. Any counter arguments? Any fence sitting, honey?
No, no fence sitting here.
Yeah. Once again, I feel like I need to share a disclaimer, guys. These are just my personal opinions. I'm not a licensed relationship judge, except in the court of honey hearts here. So let me know if you agree, disagree with me. I'm always open to different thoughts. Now, our next story is from the subreddit, Am I the A-hole? Am I the a-hole for blowing up at my brothers over a $13 Mother's Day gift? I'm 25-year-old female, the eldest of five, raised by a single mom who placed all her expectations on me because I'm the oldest daughter and because that's just how things are in our culture. I was expected to help raise my siblings and be responsible. So I did. I learned life skills early, did well in school, and graduated with Latin honors. You go, OP. My brothers, especially the twins, 24-year-old male, had a different experience. Clearly the favorites, my mom didn't expect much from them. She'd laugh off their bad behavior and even used her connections to get them out of doing certain things. They constantly bragged about cheating or paying others to do their schoolwork, and it was all treated like a joke. When it came to the family business, I stepped back because they seemed more invested. I chose to go to med school instead, which has been financially tough, but also something my mom always dreamed of for the family. Despite being in med school full time, I'm still the one she leans on when problems come up, even though they're the ones running the business. I help when I can, but I've told her repeatedly that they should be handling it. Then came Mother's Day. My mom was visiting me in Manila, so I planned a surprise in advance. I bought a cake, a gift, and a huge bouquet worth about $107, all paid up front. Two of my brothers, Mark and John, were with me and agreed to chip in for the cake and gift, $13 each. Separately, I coordinated with my mom's boyfriend who wanted to contribute too. After the surprise, he sent me $180 to cover the bouquet and also added a little extra as a thank you and to help me out with school. Because of this, I didn't follow my brothers for their share and considered it settled. But on actual Mother's Day, when she was back in the province with the boys, Mark called to ask if there was leftover money from the bouquet they could use for another gift. I told him the money had been given to me directly for the bouquet and to help me out. And if they wanted to get her something else, we could all chip in again. That's when he blew up, calling me selfish and saying I never should have asked him to contribute in the first place because, quote, I have more money. I was livid. I told him if he's broke, it's because he doesn't know how to handle money. I worked my ass off for 2 years before med school to save money. They have nothing to show for their choices, but somehow always have money for gambling, vapes, and girlfriends, but not $13 for a gift for our mom. I told him they're failures because they've never taken anything seriously, no drive, no accountability, no goals, and that they'll run the family business to the ground. Now they're upset saying I'm an ass for throwing all of this in their face, and my mom says I was a bitch for not understanding their situation. I know their capabilities are limited due to their upbringing, but they're adults. Shouldn't they at least learn how to save money? Am I being a bad sister? My jaw's on the ground. Give me a second while I scrape up the pieces again. Because what do you mean? Oh, but you're asking the wrong question, okay? To answer your last one, are you a bad sister? You know what? Yes, you are. Because you haven't freaking given up on the brothers yet, on the mom yet. You're enabling them. You're enabling everyone's behavior. So, in that sense, technically you are. And are you enabled for blowing up your brothers? Oh, no. No, your anger is justified. Is it getting warm in here or is it me? Because I am angry on your behalf. I'm pissed. Okay, clearly your mom is playing favorites. And it's not even the subtle, oh no, I love all my kids equally, but not really. It's in a, oh, no, my twin sons can do whatever. Wait, are they twins? Are they twins? Yes, they are. My twin sons can mess up, can cheat, can financially blow their money and finances and ruin the family business. But my daughter, no, no, no. Talk to me when you're a doctor. Do the doctor thing, fulfilled my dream clearly, graduating with honors, did well in school, is independent, self sufficient. She's the problem here. Why isn't she helping the family more? Opie, how dare you not help your family more? You're so selfish. Girl, you're so selfish. You should be working like an extra 2 jobs to fund your twin brother's lifestyle. You know what? Might as well give them access. Give them authorized access to your bank account while you're at it. Seems to be that your family will never be satisfied. Clearly. Can we talk about the Mother's Day gift though? Okay, in my head, the minute you said Manila, I'm thinking you're in the Philippines. Okay? And I'm thinking currency exchange rate, which I know nothing about for Philippines to USD. But I'm just assuming the value of the dollar is slightly higher in terms of what you can buy. That's what my assumption is. I'm thinking in my head, oh, okay, so you want to do like the whole cake, gift, and bouquet for all together for $107. Okay, assuming you can afford it, not too bad. Then I
That,
hear you're splitting
that
with your
seems
brothers.
expensive.
See, it's hard because in the US, a bouquet alone
Well,
is
what kind of
already like
dollar
a
is
leg
it?
and an arm. Huh?
What kind of dollar is a US dollar?
I think it is because OP used the US symbol or like the dollar symbol.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming it's dollars and not like another currency. But I mean, kind of still expensive. And I think Philippines, like getting a cake, a bouquet, and a gift,
That's
like
still expensive.
I guess it depends on what the gift is. Maybe she really spurts for mom's gift, which is nice of OP. My question is this. When OP said, oh, my brothers were with me, so they said they'll chip in too. Girl, they wanted to chip in $13.
Well, $13 each, or
$13, honey, still $13 each.
well,
I'm dead.
if you're in Philippines, I mean, conversion rate, that could probably get you way more than $13 in US, right? Like that is a reasonable amount. Could
But
be,
honey,
right?
of the total 107, they went,
Well,
sis, let me hop
well,
in
did
on
they
the
know what
gift
the
that you
total
planned.
was? Or did she just randomly say, oh, do you want to chip in and give whatever you can?
So it says, okay, when OP went to go get the gift, 2 of the brothers were there and agreed to chip in for the cake and gift. So they're not chipping in for the bouquet, just the cake and the gift. And I guess that amount was $13 each. That's agreed upon. Which I'm already like, fine. Like, sure. Like maybe it's a currency rate speaking, okay? But OP is 25, the brothers are 24. Is the income discrepancy so wide that the brothers only want to chip in 13? Or does it feel like that the brothers only wanted to chip in 13? I feel like I repeated myself, but you guys get what I'm trying to say, right? Is it that that's all they could contribute of what they could? Or is it they only wanted to contribute 13? That's my question. And I say that because you're telling me, I guess the mom's boyfriend, Mr. Generous, like comes in and he's like, you know what? Here's $180. Whatever is left over, that's for you. You know, take care of yourself for planning this, for being nice and just for you. And the rest, 107, use it for the gift, the cake, whatever. So what gets me is this. Because mom's boyfriend gave her the money, OP never chased down her brothers for the $26. The brothers never chipped in. I'm mind blown right now. But not only did they not chip in, they have the audacity to go to sister and be like, so I heard you got some money. Can I use the leftover to buy a gift for mom? What? That's wild. I'm sorry. The audacity is just like up there. You can't be the spoiled, like favorites of the family, monopolize the family business, get money from your parents and probably your sister, and then like make false promises that you can chip in for a gift and be a spoiled brat. Like you just can't be all of those things at the same time. Pick one vice to have. Like just pick one bad trait about yourself. You don't have to go and like check select all at the same time. Like genuine question for OP. Who is dating their girlfriends? Are the girlfriends imaginary? If so, are the girlfriends aware that they're broke? That they're broke AF? That's what it is. Like, what do you mean? You don't have money to ship in for your mom's like Mother's Day gift. But you have the audacity to go for your sister and be like, sis, so I heard you got some extra money. Gimme. What? The mom's love is wasted on the sons. That's all I have to say. You know, this is really interesting dynamic. A lot of times the favoritism is very one way. Do you notice that? It's never a two-way relationship where, oh, the parent's favorite loves them back and favors them equally. It's more like, it's not a give and take, it's a take and take relationship. It's very baffling to me. You have one child who's always trying to prove themselves and be, not a burden to their parents and be an absolute angel. And that's the one that's neglected. And then you have golden child over here or golden twins over here who are like, Mommy, I need money on my credit card. Help. And mom's like, right away, right away. Take my card. Here's my bank statement. Take everything. What? What? There needs to be some sort of like psychological like explanation for this phenomenon. Why? Is it like the whole idea of like hard to get? In a relation where it's like hard to get, it's like, ooh, if someone's showing me the cold shoulder, it's like, ooh, they're playing hard to get. They're mysterious. I have to have them. Is it kind of like that with a child's affection where you're like, ooh, my favorite kid doesn't like me, so I have to give them more things so that hopefully they'll return my affection? Is that what it is? What's your theory on this?
I don't know. I
Why are you laughing?
I don't know.
I'm your
To,
armchair
to me,
psychologist
I
today.
guess I think it comes down to mom being a shitty person. I'm sorry. It's just what it is.
I
Like,
think
there's no way you're gonna play favorites with your children, right? Uh,
that's weird to me.
at least that's I'm not a parent, so disclaimer, right? Like, I don't know.
No, we're for
No,
baby parents.
if we ever have kids, like I don't think I will play favorites, but who knows? But even
Who
so,
knows? Wait,
well, I don't know. Maybe
plot twist.
something is gonna change. But I hope not. That's my hope. But
Yeah,
then also the audacity of the mom to kind of expect things from the daughter who she's neglecting,
right.
and then put the golden boys on a pedestal, right? That's just how can you do that?
It's like,
You're
doesn't it
just
now
being a
make
shitty
sense?
person,
It
right?
makes no sense though. Like beyond being a parent, like isn't it human nature, I would think, to like treat others how you would like to be treated? Right? Is that not like the mantra that we've always heard forever?
I guess not for everyone.
Is this a cultural thing? Now I'm wondering, is this a cultural thing? OP did say like there are things where oldest daughter in the house, like you're expected to just kind of
So,
be another adult.
I mean,
Mm.
say it's culture, right? Like if that's the cultural thing, man. Like I don't know. Personally, I don't care. Call it culture, call whatever it may be. I wouldn't
I feel if it's
subscribe to
not right,
that.
it's not right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's not
Culture,
right from at
tradition,
least
be,
my perspective, my values. It's not a right thing to do. So I don't care what it is.
I'm kind of I feel sad for OP. But it's also kind of like a tragedy funny like story to me because they're gamblers, they vape, and they spend their money like they throw all the money away on like girlfriends plural. So now I'm wondering like, are they players too? They don't sound like very decent people either, but they didn't have $13 for their mom's birthday or not mom's birthday, Mother's Day gift. That is wild. I
No,
don't know.
I don't know if they didn't have it, right? They could have had
Oh,
it, but didn't want to spend
yeah,
more,
didn't feel
or
like doing it.
yeah,
But they want the credit though.
of course.
I bet you on Mother's Day when Opie handed the gifts over and the mom was like, "Oh, thank you, thank you." She didn't go, "Oh, thank you, my lovely daughter who actually bought the gifts." She probably went, "Oh, my sons always get me the best gifts." Like I bet you that's how it felt like, and the sons didn't even chip in anything. Oh, that makes me so angry. I agree with you, OP. Your brothers, they're adults. They, at minimum, I would hope they know how to save money. Clearly not, but I'd say, maybe this is a breakup. Maybe you need to take some advice from some of the other OPs that we've been talking about. Just distance yourself and detach. Because if anything, it feels like, I'll just say it. I agree with them here. Your mom's shitty and your family's full of leeches. They're just leeching onto you. You're kind of their emotional support everything. Not even the emotional support human. You're their emotional, well, financial support human as well. So, OP, I think you're well justified in your venting, and I think it definitely goes beyond just the $13 mother's gift chip in. Easy, not the a-hole for me. But let's see what some of the comments say. First comment, girl. They're serious when it's like the comment starts with girl, dot, dot, dot. Girl, stop helping out your brothers and let your mom see them fall flat on their face. You should only look out for yourself and let the twins figure themselves out. At this point, you're only enabling their laziness, just like your mom does. I agree. You're an enabler. Not the whole at all. Another comment. Not by a long shot. And I think group gifts need to end entirely. If your mom wants to defend them, she can see exactly how much they value her. Low expectation for kids created this situation. You didn't make these choices. The consequences of them rest with the boys and your mother. And I'll say this, OP. You don't exist to be a second mother to your twin brothers. Let's get that straight. I think too often when households in which one child gets, parentified, like they're like the third parent or something in the relationship and they're expected to have these responsibilities and accountability for other siblings, it just doesn't make sense. So don't feel too guilty and try to detach yourself gradually from this because this is not healthy. Like, there's no way your mental health is all right, girl. I feel bad for you. But I'm rooting for you, OP. Stop enabling the brothers and the mom and your mom, okay? That's my word of advice to you. You know what's crazy? She's not even that much older. Like, I feel like she keeps mentioning older sister, oldest child. She's 25. They're 24. You're 1 year older. Okay? Like, even if you were 6 or 10 years older, it wouldn't change what I say about the situation. So, OP, it's time for you to woman up and step away from this disastrous, toxic four-way relationship. I'm calling for your independence, OP. Break away. Those are the verdicts of the day, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's stories. They're a little bit rough. I feel like today's title will probably be something like Worst Parents Ever or Parenthood Gone Wrong, something like that. I don't know. We'll see what I land with for the title. But if you enjoyed the reading so far, don't forget, like this video, hit subscribe. And if you're tuning from Spotify, don't forget to rate this episode 5 stars. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you next time. Although, if you guys want to share some links to other stories and recommend subreddits for me to read, hop on the Honey Hearts podcast subreddit. It's linked below. It's linked in the description. Send me stories that you want me to read. All right, guys. I'll see you. Bye.